Now, Michael David Lynch's interview at the AOFchannel.com.
When did you know you wanted to become a filmmaker?
I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker at a very young age, but originally I thought I wanted to be an actor, and then it was in high school when I realized that directing was my passion and producing. And then I just jumped in with both feet and have been investing every penny I had and making movies since.
Has it changed the way you make film?
Burden was kind of like the Bible for how I wanted to make movies. Mm-hmm. You know, the storyboarding process, the process you learn from Hitchcock. And I use Burden as when I go to every other movie, like Swerve. Everything I learned in Burden, I applied to Swerve. I applied to Drop, applied to Insert. So I'm a big fan of doing it right and then mimicking that and continuing to just make it better.
What was the best lesson you learned when you were making Burden that you wanted to take into the rest of it?
The best lesson I learned is every day everything falls apart and every day you got to put it back together. And that's probably the simplest way of saying that. That's kind of the producer, the job of the producer is it's going to fall apart and you got to put it back together every day.
How has being a producer influenced your directing technique?
Being a producer definitely influenced my directing technique in a positive way. Mm-hmm. And when I've been on other sets watching Christopher Nolan, you see that the really great directors have their hand in producing. Mm-hmm. Because when I wanted a techno crane, I made it work on the budget. So for me, I like having a seat at the producer table because you have a voice and you can make sure you get what you want. So, but also with that said, you understand how to make sure you're not overdoing something so later on in post you can't handle that expense or that move. There's plenty of times where I've been on a $200 million set hearing the director say cut, saying you can't keep panning, it costs me $10,000 a second visual effects if you keep panning. So, again, from experience of not only my personal experience, but working on some big Hollywood sets, it's if you have a producer mind, you're saving $1, you're helping keep all the money on screen, and you're able to continue to be logical and remove emotion when emotion is not needed. In the good way of saying that. You want emotion on screen, of course, but you don't want to be emotional and just wanting something because you're the director. You have to realize what's best for the project. Mm-hmm. And I think if you have a good producer mind, you'll always think what's best for the project.